Muscle growth is often perceived as a result of lifting heavier weights, performing more reps, or pushing the body past its limits. While these factors do play a significant role in developing strength and size, they are only a part of the larger picture. The foundation of true muscle development starts deep within the body at the cellular level. Every repetition, every contraction, every ounce of force produced by the body originates from tiny, complex systems operating at the microscopic level. These systems rely heavily on the nutrients we feed our body, especially vitamins. Without proper cellular strength, the body cannot sustain prolonged growth, repair itself effectively, or manage the demands of hyper-performance activity. It becomes essential to understand that cellular health determines the quality of muscle one can build. Muscles are made up of fibers, and those fibers depend on cells. These cells need to be strong, energized, and balanced. If the cells are undernourished or imbalanced, no amount of external training will result in significant or sustainable progress. Vitamins play an instrumental role in the energy production of cells. The mitochondria, often called the powerhouse of the cell, convert nutrients into energy. This energy is what fuels workouts, muscle contractions, and the recovery processes afterward. Vitamins such as B1, B2, B3, B5, B6, B7, B9, and B12 are directly involved in energy metabolism. Without adequate levels of these vitamins, the mitochondria cannot function optimally. When energy levels at the cellular level drop, physical performance declines, fatigue sets in more quickly, and the risk of injury increases. More importantly, the body's ability to repair muscle tissue after training sessions becomes impaired. Recovery is delayed, soreness increases, and progress is stalled. This shows how critical it is to ensure that the body's cells are fueled with the right vitamins on a consistent basis. Another essential aspect of cellular strength involves protection and defense. Muscles experience stress during workouts, and this stress produces free radicals, unstable molecules that can damage cells if not neutralized. Vitamins such as C and E are powerful antioxidants that protect muscle cells from oxidative stress. When oxidative damage accumulates, it can lead to inflammation, hinder recovery, and reduce overall performance. On the other hand, a well-supplied system with antioxidant-rich vitamins helps shield the muscles from unnecessary damage, keeping them resilient and healthy over time. This defensive role of vitamins is often overlooked, yet it is crucial in maintaining a strong internal environment for growth to happen. Protein synthesis is a core component of muscle building. Every time a person lifts weights, small tears occur in the muscle fibers. The repair of these fibers leads to growth, but this process requires amino acids, enzymes, and coenzymes. Many of these enzymes are vitamin-independent. For instance, vitamin D plays a vital role in muscle function and strength. It helps regulate calcium levels, which are essential for proper muscle contraction. Without enough vitamin D, the body may struggle with muscle weakness and decreased performance. Similarly, vitamin B6 helps in the synthesis of amino acids, which are the building blocks of muscle tissue. If any of these vitamins are missing or insufficient, the entire muscle building process slows down or becomes inefficient. Cellular hydration is another pillar of muscle growth. Hydration is not just about water, but about how well the cells can retain and utilize fluids. Vitamins and minerals such as magnesium, potassium, and sodium work synergistically to maintain cellular hydration. When the cells are properly hydrated, they function better, recover faster, and grow stronger. Dehydrated cells are sluggish, inefficient, and more prone to damage. This is why athletes who focus only on macros, proteins, carbs, fats, without paying attention to vitamins often plateau in their performance. Their cells are not receiving the comprehensive support needed to thrive under physical stress. A strong cell is an efficient communicator. Within the body, countless signals are sent every second, between the brain and muscles, between immune cells and repair mechanisms, between hormones and receptors. Vitamins are essential for these communication pathways. For example, vitamin B12 supports nerve health, allowing muscle fibers to receive clear, quick signals from the brain. This improves coordination, reaction time, and control. Poor nerve signaling can lead to weak muscle contractions, imbalances, or even injury. A well-nourished nervous system enhances training quality, allowing the athlete to push harder with confidence. Muscle growth also depends on hormonal balance. Hormones such as testosterone, growth hormone, and insulin, like growth factor IGF-1, play key roles in building muscle mass. These hormones are influenced by various nutrients, including vitamins. Vitamin D, for instance, has been shown to support healthy testosterone levels. A deficiency can lead to hormonal imbalances that hinder muscle development. Additionally, B vitamins help regulate stress hormones like cortisol. When cortisol levels are high due to poor recovery or emotional stress, the body shifts into a catabolic state, breaking down muscle tissue instead of building it. By supporting hormonal balance, vitamins ensure that the body remains in an anabolic or muscle building state as much as possible. Immune function is another area where cellular strength becomes relevant. Training hard puts stress on the immune system. If the immune system is weak, the body becomes more vulnerable to illness, which can interrupt training and slow progress. Vitamins such as A, C, D, and E play vital roles in maintaining immune health. They support the production and function of white blood cells, enhance the body's defense barriers, and help reduce inflammation. A resilient immune system allows an athlete to train more consistently, recover faster, and stay on track with their goals. Mental resilience is deeply connected to physical performance. Focus, motivation, discipline, and consistency are as important as lifting weights or eating protein. Vitamins such as B12, folate, and D are essential for brain health. They support mood regulation, cognitive clarity, and emotional balance. A deficiency in these vitamins can lead to fatigue, brain fog, irritability, or even depression, all of which impact training, performance, and commitment. By fueling the brain alongside the body, cellular strength promotes a mindset that is aligned with growth, dedication, and long-term success. In essence, the path from weak to warrior is not carved solely in the gym. It is built at the microscopic level inside each and every cell. Vitamins are the unseen force behind energy, recovery, protection, communication, and growth. When the cells are strong, the body becomes strong. When the internal system is aligned, the external results follow. Without this foundation, muscle growth is limited, performance is inconsistent, and injuries become more frequent. But with cellular strength, supported by a well-balanced intake of essential vitamins, the body transforms into a machine of resilience, power, and possibility. The warrior is not built on weight alone, but on the invisible forces that sustain every breath, every rep, and every step forward. Vitamins such as D, B12, and C are often underestimated in the world of muscle development. Yet they are essential components of the body's inner architecture. They do not build muscle directly in the way protein does, nor do they give instant energy like carbohydrates, but their role is far deeper and more crucial. These vitamins work behind the scenes, enabling processes within the body that make muscle growth not just possible, but sustainable and effective. Without them, all the hard work done in training can become compromised, delayed, or even reversed. The body is a system of systems, and for any one part to function at its best, all the supporting parts must also be in harmony. Vitamins are the catalysts that drive countless biochemical reactions that support performance, recovery, and adaptation to physical stress. Vitamin D stands out as one of the most impactful vitamins for muscle growth. Often called the sunshine vitamin, it plays a critical role in regulating calcium and phosphorus levels in the blood, both of which are essential for muscle contraction. When vitamin D levels are low, muscle weakness and fatigue become common, even if training and nutrition seem to be in order. What many don't realize is that vitamin D is also involved in the synthesis of protein and in the support of testosterone production, both of which directly affect muscle growth. Moreover, vitamin D receptors are present in muscle tissue, and their activation helps with muscle cell growth and repair. Research has shown that individuals with higher levels of vitamin D tend to have better muscle performance and strength compared to those with deficiencies. When the body is adequately supplied with vitamin D, it builds muscle more efficiently, recovers more quickly, and withstands stress more effectively. Vitamin B12, another silent architect of muscle growth, is involved in red blood cell formation, neurological function, and DNA synthesis. Red blood cells are responsible for transporting oxygen throughout the body, including to the working muscles. Without sufficient oxygen, muscles cannot function optimally during workouts, leading to early fatigue, poor endurance, and slower recovery. Vitamin B12 ensures that these red blood cells are produced in adequate amounts and that they perform their role efficiently. It also supports the nervous system, helping maintain the health of the nerve cells that communicate with muscle fibers. Strong neural connections mean better coordination, improved strength output, and more precise control during complex movements. When B12 levels are low, one might experience numbness, weakness, or difficulty in sustaining intense physical effort. For those engaged in regular strength training, maintaining optimal B12 levels is a non-negotiable part of long-term progress. Vitamin C, widely known for its immune-boosting properties, also plays a critical role in collagen production. Collagen is a protein that forms the connective tissue in tendons, ligaments, and skin. When training intensity increases, the tendons and ligaments endure significant stress alongside the muscles. Strong connective tissue is vital to prevent injuries and to allow the muscles to exert force effectively. Vitamin C supports the synthesis of collagen, ensuring that the framework around the muscles remains resilient and durable. In addition to this, vitamin C acts as a powerful antioxidant, protecting muscle cells from damage caused by free radicals. These free radicals are produced during intense exercise and can impair recovery and muscle integrity if left unchecked. By neutralizing oxidative stress, vitamin C helps preserve muscle tissue and allows for smoother, quicker recovery between sessions. Each of these vitamins supports a different system within the body, and their combined effect enhances the overall environment for muscle growth. They help the body respond to stress, rebuild after damage, and function efficiently under load. Their influence is not always immediately felt, but their absence is. Deficiency in even one of these vitamins can create a cascade of problems that disrupt the muscle building process. Fatigue, poor performance, weakened immunity, slow recovery, and even muscle loss can all be traced back to a lack of proper vitamin in support. It becomes clear that supplementation or nutrient-rich food choices aren't just about general health. They are a direct strategy for those aiming to enhance physical performance. The body is constantly adapting. Every time a workout breaks down muscle fibers, the body responds by repairing them stronger and more resilient. This process is fueled not only by macronutrients, but also by the micronutrients that activate the repair mechanisms. Vitamins such as D, B12, and C serve as keys that unlock these processes. Without them, the body does not know how to respond to stress correctly. The immune system may overreact, inflammation may linger, and the recovery time may double. These delays and missteps slow down progress and increase the risk of overtraining or injury. The smart athlete or fitness enthusiast recognizes that true strength is not measured only by external output, but also by how well the internal systems function and recover. In a world obsessed with protein powders and pre-workout formulas, the basic building blocks of health are often ignored. Yet it is these very vitamins that make all the difference when the body is pushed to its limits. They are the difference between breaking down and breaking through. They offer the support that muscles need to regenerate, the clarity that the mind needs to focus, and the energy that the cells need to perform. When the body is adequately nourished with these vitamins, the difference in performance becomes unmistakable. Energy levels stabilize, endurance improves, strength gains become more consistent, and mental sharpness aligns with physical ability. The journey of muscle growth is one of repetition, consistency, and patience. But without the right internal support, even the most disciplined effort can fall short. These vitamins are not luxury additions to a diet. They are essentials. They create the internal environment where growth is not just possible but optimal. The muscle does not grow in isolation, it grows in a system, and that system depends heavily on the invisible, powerful influence of vitamins like D, B12, and C. Every push-up, every squat, every drop of sweat should be backed by internal support that ensures those efforts are not wasted. Training hard must be matched by fueling smart. By honoring the role of these vitamins, one honors the entire body's ability to transform. They may be silent, but their impact echoes through every movement, every set, every goal achieved. Without them, progress is slow, inconsistent, and frustrating. With them, the body becomes a machine of power, recovery, and potential. They are not optional, they are foundational. Micronutrient deficiency is one of the most overlooked factors when it comes to building muscle and improving physical performance. While most people focus on macronutrients like protein, carbohydrates, and fats, the essential role of vitamins and minerals is often dismissed or underestimated. However, the absence or insufficiency of these tiny nutrients can lead to major setbacks in progress. When the body doesn't receive the right amounts of essential vitamins and minerals, it cannot perform optimally. The effects of such deficiencies may not be immediately visible, but they accumulate over time and manifest through fatigue, slower recovery, decreased performance, and ultimately, weaker gains. The body is a complex system that relies on a wide range of biochemical processes, and these processes require specific nutrients to function properly. Without them, the body becomes less efficient, more prone to injury, and unable to fully adapt to training stimuli. Fatigue is one of the first signs that something is wrong internally. A person can be eating enough calories and sleeping well, but still feel constantly tired or drained after workouts. This fatigue often stems from deficiencies in key micronutrients such as iron, magnesium, B vitamins, and vitamin D. These nutrients play vital roles in energy production and oxygen transport. Iron, for example, is crucial for hemoglobin formation, which allows red blood cells to carry oxygen to the muscles. Without sufficient oxygen, muscles fatigue quickly and performance drops. Similarly, B vitamins are heavily involved in converting food into usable energy. When B vitamins are low, energy metabolism becomes inefficient, leading to reduced stamina and early exhaustion during physical activity. Magnesium supports over 300 enzymatic functions, many of which are directly tied to muscular performance and energy generation. Its deficiency can lead to muscle cramps, twitching, and overall weakness. Recovery is the next area affected by micronutrient deficiency. Muscle growth occurs during recovery, not during the workout itself. The repair and rebuilding of muscle tissue depend on the availability of nutrients like zinc, vitamin C, vitamin E, and protein, synthesizing cofactors like vitamin B6. Without these nutrients, the recovery process becomes sluggish and incomplete. Muscle soreness lingers longer than it should, and the body fails to fully repair the microtears caused by intense exercise. Over time, this incomplete recovery leads to inflammation, joint pain, and a greater risk of overuse injuries. Inadequate recovery also means less progress between workouts, as the body remains in a constant state of trying to catch up. This cycle not only stunts muscle development, but also impacts motivation and consistency. Weight gains are the long-term result of ongoing nutrient deficiencies. Even if someone is lifting heavy and following a structured training plan, the absence of key vitamins and minerals can drastically limit results. The body needs more than protein to build muscle. It needs the chemical reactions that drive muscle protein synthesis, hormone regulation, and cellular repair. All of these reactions depend on the presence of essential nutrients. Zinc supports testosterone production, which is vital for muscle building. Vitamin D enhances muscle fiber contraction and hormone balance. Calcium is necessary for the electrical signals that cause muscles to contract and relax. A lack of any of these elements weakens the muscle building response and leads to plateaus in progress. When someone trains hard but sees little improvement in strength or size, the problem often lies not in the workout, but in the micronutrient profile of their diet. In addition to physical setbacks, nutrient deficiencies also impact the nervous system. Coordination, focus, and mental drive are essential for a successful training session. Vitamins like B12, folate, and magnesium are crucial for nervous system health. When these are lacking, symptoms such as brain fog, irritability, and lack of motivation start to appear. These mental blocks can be just as damaging as physical fatigue. When the mind isn't sharp, workouts become inconsistent, effort levels drop, and the risk of injury increases due to poor focus. A healthy nervous system allows the body to react quickly, lift efficiently, and stay mentally engaged during challenging physical tasks. Micronutrient support is key to keeping this system running smoothly. Hormonal balance is another critical area influenced by vitamins and minerals. Hormones such as testosterone, growth hormone, cortisol, and insulin regulate how the body builds and repairs muscle. Deficiencies in nutrients like vitamin D, zinc, and magnesium can lead to hormonal imbalances that directly inhibit muscle growth. High cortisol levels, for instance, break down muscle tissue and increase fat storage. When magnesium and vitamin B6 are low, the body struggles to regulate stress hormones, keeping cortisol levels elevated. This environment is not conducive to muscle growth. On the other hand, when vitamin and mineral levels are optimized, hormone production stabilizes, anabolic processes are supported, and the body operates in a state that favors muscle gain and recovery. Micronutrients also impact hydration and electrolyte balance. Potassium, sodium, magnesium, and calcium are all electrolytes that help regulate fluid balance, muscle contraction, and nerve impulses. Deficiencies in these minerals can lead to dehydration, muscle cramps, and reduced endurance. Proper hydration is not just about drinking water. It's about ensuring the body can retain and use that water effectively. Electrolytes maintain this balance, and without them, the cells become less responsive and more prone to damage. Athletes and lifters who train intensely must be especially mindful of these nutrients, as they lose electrolytes through sweat and increased metabolic demands. The immune system also relies heavily on micronutrients. Training is a stressor on the body, and while controlled stress is beneficial, it can also suppress immune function if not properly managed. Vitamins A, C, D, and E, along with minerals like zinc and selenium, help support a strong immune response. A weakened immune system means more frequent illness, missed training sessions, and slower recovery from minor injuries. When the body is constantly fighting off infection or inflammation, it cannot prioritize muscle growth. A well-nourished immune system ensures that training can remain consistent and that the body can respond positively to physical stress. Long-term consistency is the foundation of any successful muscle-building journey. However, consistency becomes impossible when the body is undernourished. Persistent nutrient deficiencies lead to burnout, discouragement, and stagnation. The energy to train, the ability to recover, and the motivation to keep going all depend on the body being supported at the most fundamental level. Micronutrients provide this support. They are the fuel behind the fuel, the unseen force that turns effort into progress. Ignoring them is like trying to build a house without nails or glue. No matter how good the materials are, the structure will be unstable and temporary. The modern diet often lacks the variety and density of nutrients required to meet the needs of an active body. Processed foods, stress, poor sleep, and environmental toxins all contribute to nutrient depletion. This is why even people who appear healthy on the outside may be deficient in key vitamins and minerals. It becomes essential to not only eat clean but to eat strategically. Whole foods rich in color, variety, and freshness are crucial. In some cases, targeted supplementation may be necessary to correct deficiencies and restore optimal function. Muscle growth is not just a matter of lifting more weight or spending more time in the gym. It's about creating the ideal internal environment for growth to happen. This environment cannot exist in the absence of micronutrients. Fatigue, slow recovery, and weak gains are not just consequences of poor training. They are often warning signs that the body is lacking the essential tools it needs to thrive. Recognizing the importance of vitamins and minerals is the first step toward unlocking true potential. They may be small in size, but their impact is massive. To neglect them is to limit what the body can achieve. To prioritize them is to move with power, endurance, clarity, and purpose. Discipline in nutrition is the unseen force behind every transformation. While motivation may spark action, it is discipline that sustains the path, especially when progress is slow or invisible. Nutrition, unlike training, doesn't show immediate results. You won't feel a vitamin in kicking in the way you feel a heavy set of squats. You won't get an adrenaline rush from choosing leafy greens over junk food, but these quiet decisions shape everything. Discipline in nutrition means choosing long-term success over short-term comfort, fueling your body with purpose rather than feeding your cravings with impulse. It means knowing that every cell in your body is built from the food you eat, and therefore, every meal is a brick in the foundation of your strength, endurance, and resilience. When you treat nutrition as a form of discipline, it becomes less about dieting and more about integrity. It's keeping promises to yourself. You say you want to build muscle, grow stronger, transform your body, then you must eat like someone who honors that goal. That doesn't mean perfection. It means consistency. It means planning when others are relaxing, preparing meals when others are ordering out, choosing balance when the world offers extremes. It's showing up to the dinner table with the same intention you bring to the gym. Every time you eat, you are either feeding growth or feeding stagnation. Discipline means recognizing that and choosing the path aligned with your vision, even when it's inconvenient, even when it's uncomfortable. The body doesn't lie. It reflects what you give it. If your energy is low, if your muscles aren't growing, if your performance is declining, it's often because your nutrition lacks consistency and depth. Quick fixes don't create long-term strength. Supplements won't compensate for poor habits. Discipline in nutrition is about quality as much as quantity. Are you getting enough vitamins and minerals? Are your meals balanced with the right types of fats, carbohydrates, and proteins? Are you eating with awareness or on autopilot? These questions define the difference between an average body and a powerful one, and answering them requires honesty and accountability. When you are disciplined in your nutrition, you begin to understand how food becomes function. Vitamins become vitality, minerals become movement, protein becomes recovery, carbohydrates become fuel, fats become hormones. Every bite you take either contributes to your ability to train harder, recover faster, and grow stronger, or it subtracts from it. This level of awareness is not natural for most people. It must be practiced. It must be trained like a muscle. And just like training, it gets easier with repetition, with structure, with a clear goal in mind. Eventually, the discipline becomes automatic. The choice becomes natural. The cravings begin to fade and are replaced by clarity, energy, and momentum. In moments of low motivation, when training feels hard or progress feels stagnant, discipline in nutrition carries you. It ensures that your body is still healing, still building, still preparing to rise. Discipline means you eat the right food even when no one is watching, even when it would be easier to slip into comfort. It means taking your vitamins every day, not because you feel the difference instantly, but because you trust the process. Discipline is choosing to believe in the compound effect of small, smart choices repeated daily. The meal you skip today may not hurt you tomorrow, but over weeks and months, the absence of those nutrients will cost you. Strength doesn't come from what you do occasionally. It comes from what you do relentlessly. There is also a mental shift that occurs when you approach nutrition with discipline. You begin to value your body not as something you're trying to fix, but as something you're committed to upgrading. You stop chasing quick results and start building sustainable routines. You stop comparing your progress to others and start focusing on internal alignment. You realize that discipline is freedom. It frees you from emotional eating, from confusion, from regret. When you eat with discipline, you never have to ask what went wrong, because you already know you're doing what's right. You gain confidence not just in your body, but in your ability to control your outcomes. Discipline in nutrition also teaches patience. Muscles don't grow overnight, and neither does cellular health. Vitamins take time to replenish, deficiencies take time to correct, and optimal performance takes time to develop. Without discipline, that waiting period becomes frustrating. With discipline, it becomes purposeful. You begin to trust the rhythm of your journey. You understand that muscle is not only forged in sweat, but in silence. In the quiet decisions to prepare a meal, to measure your intake, to skip the temptations, to fuel your body like a warrior. Every act of discipline becomes a message to your future self. I am preparing for what I desire. It is through this consistency that the body begins to adapt, energy levels stabilize, sleep improves, recovery accelerates, the brain functions with more clarity, workouts become more productive. These results reinforce the habit, and the discipline becomes identity. You no longer have to push yourself to eat well. You simply do because it's who you are. And when that shift occurs, transformation becomes inevitable. No longer are you fighting against your habits. You are aligned with them. Nutrition becomes not a struggle, but a strategy, not a restriction, but a ritual. Discipline in nutrition is also contagious. When you live it, others notice. You begin to inspire without speaking. Your energy speaks for itself. Your strength speaks for itself. Your discipline shows up not just in your meals, but in your posture, in your focus, in your decisions. It becomes part of your presence. It becomes your edge. Most people train hard but fuel inconsistently. They give everything in the gym and then eat without intention. That imbalance keeps them stuck. But when you train hard and eat smart, you create momentum that nothing can stop. Your body responds with gratitude. It builds muscle faster, recovers more efficiently, and performs at levels that surprise even you. The truth is, discipline in nutrition is not just about food, it's about character. It's about mastering your choices in a world full of distractions. It's about saying yes to your vision and no to the habits that sabotage it. It's about proving to yourself, day after day, that you can be trusted with your goals, that you are willing to do the quiet work that no one applauds because you know that true power is built in private. Your body is your responsibility. Your nutrition is your responsibility. No one can eat for you, fuel you, or transform you. But when you take that responsibility seriously, everything changes. Because the same discipline that helps you eat right today is the same discipline that will help you overcome obstacles, push through pain, and become unstoppable. In the end, discipline in nutrition is not the sacrifice, it is the solution. It is the mindset that turns potential into progress and effort into excellence. It is the daily commitment to respect the temple you live in. When you treat nutrition as a form of self-respect, self-discipline becomes self-mastery. And that mastery doesn't just change your body, it changes your life. True warriors are not built solely by the intensity of their training or the hours they spend perfecting their craft. They are created through a balanced mastery of both movement and nourishment. The mistake many make is believing that physical exertion alone will carry them to their goals. But without the right internal fuel, even the strongest training regimen loses its impact. The body cannot grow, repair, or adapt without the raw materials provided by nutrition. To become a true warrior, one must not only push limits in the gym or in life's battles, but must also honor the quiet discipline of proper nourishment. This integration of external strength and internal support is what creates a resilient, enduring force, not just in body, but in spirit. Training challenges the muscles, the lungs, the heart, and the mind. It pushes you past what's comfortable and asks you to stretch into discomfort. But it is nourishment that determines how well you recover from those challenges. It is nourishment that supplies the body with the micronutrients, amino acids, fatty acids, and minerals it needs to regenerate and grow stronger. Without the right nutrition, the breakdown caused by training leads to fatigue, injury, and burnout. With the right nourishment, every drop of sweat becomes an investment. The body responds with greater power, sharper focus, and deeper reserves of energy. That is what makes a warrior different. They don't just fight harder, they recover smarter. Movement trains the body, but nourishment trains the system that powers it. A warrior doesn't just eat to survive, they eat to thrive. They understand that what they put into their body is just as critical as how they move it. They know that vitamins like D, C, and the B-complex family are not optional. They are essential to support immune function, muscle repair, and energy production. Minerals like magnesium, zinc, and iron are the silent allies that keep the engine running under pressure. Without them, even the strongest warriors find themselves weak when it matters most. To move with strength, precision, and endurance requires fueling the body with intentional choices, day in and day out. This kind of balance requires awareness. It requires listening, not just to the body when it screams in pain or fatigue, but to the subtle cues it gives long before that point. A warrior pays attention. They recognize when their energy dips, when their focus wanes, when their recovery is slow, and they ask why. Often the answer lies not in doing more, but in feeding better. A tired body may not need another set, it may need more iron. Sore muscles may not need more rest, they may need more magnesium and protein. By understanding the link between nourishment and performance, the warrior gains an edge over those who ignore the connection. True strength is not just explosive, it is sustained, and sustained strength is built by systems that are well, fed well, recovered and well, aligned. Warriors know that peak performance is not random. It is the result of precise preparation, both in movement and in nutrition. They treat every meal as fuel, every supplement as a tool, every bite as a choice to support the mission. This level of discipline creates consistency, and consistency is what builds greatness, not occasional brilliance, but daily commitment. In a culture obsessed with visible results, it's easy to overlook the invisible work, the silent strength built through vitamins that enhance cell repair, the quiet protection from antioxidants that reduce inflammation, the hormonal support from healthy fats that stabilize mood and drive growth, the integrity of connective tissue held together by collagen and supported by vitamin C. All of this internal architecture is what allows a warrior to push further, withstand more, and keep moving when others break down. The outside may show the results, but the inside determines the capacity. Fueling like a warrior means eliminating excuses. It means no longer saying, "I don't have time to eat right," or "I can train through it." A warrior doesn't compromise on the basics, they master them. They prepare meals when it's inconvenient. They take their supplements when others forget. They prioritize hydration, balance, and rest. These aren't just habits. They are strategies for survival and excellence. Movement without nourishment is noise. It may look impressive, but it eventually breaks down. Nourishment without movement is dormant. It holds potential but lacks expression. When both are aligned, they create a rhythm of unstoppable growth and evolution. It's important to understand that nourishment is not just physical. It's mental, emotional, spiritual. A warrior knows that how they fuel their body affects how they think, how they feel, how they show up in the world. Poor nutrition leads to mental fog, low energy, and emotional instability. Optimal nutrition sharpens the mind, lifts the spirit, and centers the heart. It creates clarity in chaos, focus in fatigue, and peace in pressure. That is why warriors don't just eat. They nourish. They don't just train. They evolve. This evolution doesn't happen by chance. It happens by commitment. A warrior builds routines that honor their body's needs. They study their own biology. They learn what foods energize them, what habits drain them, and what rhythms their body responds best to. They track progress, not just in weight lifted, but in how well they sleep, how clearly they think, and how effectively they recover. They understand that success is not measured by appearance alone, but by function, by how well the body performs under stress, and how quickly it returns to balance. The warrior mindset is not about perfection. It's about awareness and adaptability. Sometimes the body needs more rest. Sometimes it needs more greens. Sometimes it needs more protein. A true warrior is not rigid. They are responsive. They don't follow a diet blindly. They tune into the feedback their body gives and adjust accordingly. They treat every sign, every signal as information, not frustration. This feedback loop becomes their guide, allowing them to train with wisdom and fuel with precision. Ultimately, being a warrior is about ownership. Owning your training, owning your nutrition, owning your choices. No one can move for you. No one can eat for you. No one can transform for you. The warrior takes full responsibility, not just for the results they get, but for the process they follow. They embrace the grind, not because it's easy, but because it's worth it. They fuel with intention because they respect the body that carries them into battle every day, and they understand that the quality of their nourishment determines the quality of their movement. So, if you want to build a body that is strong, enduring, and powerful, you must first build a mindset that values both motion and fuel. You must commit not only to the weight you lift, but to the nutrients you consume. You must stop separating training and nutrition and start seeing them as two sides of the same mission. The warrior within you is not awakened by effort alone. It is sustained by wisdom, and that wisdom knows this truth. Only when movement and nourishment unite does the real transformation begin.